Welcome to The Explainer. So, if you're using containers on Google Cloud, you've probably felt that chaos of trying to manage all those images. Today, we are diving deep into the solution, Google Container Registry. We're going to see how it can totally secure and streamline your entire cloud-native workflow. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll unpack the problem that GCR was built to solve. Then, we'll define what it actually is and follow an image all the way from a developer's laptop to production. After that, we'll see how it plugs into everything else on GCP, run through some best practices, and wrap it all up with why this stuff is so critical for any modern application. Okay, let's kick things off with the problem itself. Containers are everywhere, right? They're super popular, so why do we even need a whole separate service just to handle them? Look, containers are absolutely fantastic for packaging up your code and making it portable. No doubt about it. But they create a whole new set of headaches. Once you start building dozens or even hundreds of these things, you suddenly have to answer some really tough questions about storage, security, and how you're going to get them where they need to go. Because without a central managed registry, things get messy fast. Teams start sharing images manually, which is slow and just asking for mistakes. You might even be storing sensitive code in public repositories. Yikes. Your tools don't talk to each other, and you have no consistent way to control who can access what. It's just not sustainable. And this is exactly where Google Container Registry, or GCR, comes into the picture. It's designed to be that secure harbor, solving all those problems we just talked about. So, what is it really? The most important thing to remember is that GCR is a secure, private, and fully managed place for your container images, and it lives right inside your Google Cloud project. It handles all the tough stuff on the back end, so you can just focus on building great software. Here's probably the easiest way to think about it. If you've ever used Docker Hub to pull public images, GCR is basically the exact same idea, but it's completely private and locked down securely within your own cloud environment. All right, let's make this real. Let's actually trace the journey of a single container image to see how this all works in practice. How does an image get from a developer's machine all the way into a live application? It's really this four-step dance. A developer builds an image, then they push it up to GCR. Here's the magic part. GCR can automatically scan it for known security vulnerabilities. And only after that image is checked and verified can it be pulled down and deployed to your production servers. GCR acts as this critical checkpoint. But GCR isn't just some digital storage locker. It's really the glue that connects your entire cloud-native workflow together, making everything just work. It integrates natively with all the heavy hitters on Google Cloud. So whether you're orchestrating with Kubernetes on GKE, going serverless with Cloud Run, or running automated pipelines with Cloud Build, GCR is right there, making sure your images are delivered fast and securely, exactly where they need to be. Okay, so now that we get the flow, let's talk about some pro tips for using GCR the right way and how to think about what's coming next. Following these is going to save you a lot of headaches. Always try to store your images in the same region as your servers. It's way faster and cheaper. Lock down access using strict least privilege permissions. Definitely make vulnerability scanning a standard part of your process. And please avoid using the latest tag in production. It makes tracking versions and rolling back changes an absolute nightmare. And on the flip side, you really want to watch out for these common mistakes. Forgetting to enable the API before you push your first image? Yeah, we've all been there. Giving out permissions that are way too broad is a huge security risk. And not cleaning up old, unused images? That can lead to some surprisingly high storage bills down the road. So this brings up a really important question that a lot of developers have right now. How is GCR different from Google's newer service, Artifact Registry? And understanding this is key to future-proofing your whole setup. It's pretty straightforward when you see it laid out. GCR is purpose-built and absolutely fantastic for Docker images on GCP. Artifact Registry is the next evolution. It's designed to be a central home for many different kinds of packages. Think Docker, NPM, Maven, all in one place. So think of GCR as simple and focused, while Artifact Registry is broader and much more versatile. So let's zoom out and bring this all home. Let's really hammer down why a service like GCR isn't just a nice to have. It's a truly fundamental piece of any modern software pipeline. A solid managed registry like GCR is really built on these three pillars. You've got robust security with fine-grained access control and vulnerability scanning. You get deep integration with all the tools you're already using, and you get global performance because you can store your images close to where they'll be used. And this first pillar, security, is absolutely critical. By plugging directly into Google's identity and access management, you can control with surgical precision who and what can push or pull your precious container images. And you can't build a reliable app on an unreliable foundation, right? GCR's high availability means your deployment pipeline isn't going to grind to a halt because your registry is down. When you need to scale up or push a critical fix, your images will be there ready to go. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. GCR isn't just storage. It's the secure, trusted foundation for your entire container strategy on Google Cloud. It's the engine that lets you ship code with real confidence. We'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. In this cloud-native world, building amazing software is really only half the battle. You also have to secure the entire supply chain that delivers it, from the first line of code to the final production deployment. And that security, it starts right here, in your container registry.